Hey, thank you for joining the Minnesota Cold Talk podcast. Hey, check this out. This episode is important. I was out at an event last week, or maybe a week and a half ago, and I heard some information that was crazy. I really don't know too many people who lost their life after giving birth, except for one person. It was a close friend of mine, man, and he take care of the baby by himself and everything now. And I didn't understand. I just thought maybe that's something that's happened, but I didn't know that the thing that happened to her could have been prevented. So we got special guests on the panel right now. Let me everybody introduce yourself, man. Let everybody know who y'all are.
Hello, my name is Joy McAfee. I'm a full-time postpartum doula. I take care of families after they have given birth. I provide emotional support, trauma-informed care, nutrition and healing for the whole family, and infant care education as well, and healing education. My the families that I support are mostly BIPOC families in our own community. And I've been doing this work for 5 years. I am a wife and a mother of a 15-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter as well.
Okay, okay, that's what's up. Who else we got? Who else we got in the building?
Hey, I'm Miss Living Life for sure, aka Denise, the other BBW, beautiful black woman. How y'all doing out there?
All right, who else we got in the building down there, man?
What's going on, people? It's the freshest dude on your timeline. Other than that, that's all I got.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, listen. I want to do this right. I want to talk about our topic tonight, and for the people who didn't get a chance to get the story, I was a little late on the story, but don't worry about it. The story is up on the screen now. Y'all read this. Check this out real quick. Equality and awareness. Joy, what do that mean to you?
Um, Awareness. Let's see. So birth equity has a lot of connotations, a lot of information behind it, a lot of experience behind it. But for our community, for our brothers and sisters, it really
You chopped
means
out a little
making
bit.
sure that we have the same experiences. It really means that we have the same experiences that other people have in having our children, that we have the same opportunities, and that we don't have to worry about losing our life or losing our minds in the process of giving birth to our children.
Mm. Okay. Life. What do
Yeah.
uh what do it mean to you?
It means that we get treated the same and basically we gonna get the same care as the next person, the most up care like the next person, and don't, you know what I'm saying, shortchange us basically when we come in
Right.
and have birth of our child, of our children. Basically, that's what it means to be.
You two being women, I don't know how you guys feel when it's time to give birth, and I don't know like what you guys go through, but I can speak for a man. I was worried so much that I had a son that passed away, so you know how I felt. I was always worried. I was trying to make sure she was eating the right things. It got to the point where I think I probably was a little irritating to her. You know what I mean? And so for the mothers, do you guys think of these type of situations that can happen to you guys? Do y'all ever like, yo, I might not be able to make it? You know what I mean? Have you guys think like that when you about to have a baby?
Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah.
I noticed that I all when I become pregnant, first of all, I carry big. Like my kids is like 8 pounds or bigger. And I never had natural childbirth. So all my children was five. I had five cesareans, five C sections. And that's a little more, I feel like, natural is dangerous, but once I started hearing how they was treating, you know what I'm saying, treating us. I started when I did the cesarean. I asked them to keep me woke. I stayed awake and
Yeah.
watched my cesareans. I had to watch y'all do, take my son out of me or my daughter out of me. I had to literally watch the mirror above the bed and watch them operate on me. So I'm watching them go inside me to take my child out of me because I was
Wow.
scared that I wasn't gonna wake up. You know what I'm saying? Because like I got they did so much epidural. They did so much put so much epidural in me. Not epidural, but yeah, that's epidural. right? When they numb me, they put so much epidural in me that I couldn't even swallow.
Wow, man.
Then my mother I'm sitting up there, my arms are strapped like on my sides. You know what I'm saying? Because she was laid in the T. So my arms is on my side strapped. I'm up there spitting, like taking my tongue, moving, spitting out my saliva because I couldn't swallow it. They put too much in me. My mom had to literally take the suction from the doctor and suction me herself. And then right there, that scared me. I got stuck 15 times in the back of them trying to numb me with the epidural.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm sorry. I did the dumbest thing, man.
What you doing?
Yes, you did.
You noticed that? Why you ain't tell me? I'm bogus. I'm so sorry, man.
What you doing?
Tell me why you mad, son.
Bro, I was wondering, like, where the hell are these people coming from? Bro, the whole time we on YouTube and not Facebook. I'm talking about it's so many people. I'm like, oh, why the fuck we get motherfucking 70-some people? Like, what the hell's going on?
Hey y'all. Welcome.
Y'all.
No, I had to cut that YouTube off. That's my gaming channel. They probably like, man, what he on there talking about birth awareness?
Hey, maybe a female was up there playing and she might even hear it. Everything happened for a reason.
That's right.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, I'm gonna give it another countdown. I'll stop it at 10. All right. Thank you guys for joining the Minnesota Cold Talk podcast. Y'all got to forgive us, man. My cousin Kendrick messed up the live, so we had to do it over. So don't even worry about it. We're about to get it back off the top. We got a couple special guests in the building. Please, can you please introduce yourself? Go ahead. It don't matter who go first.
Okay.
I'm Miss Living Life for Short, aka Denise, the other BBW beautiful bald woman. How y'all doing?
Hey. My name is Joy McAfee. I'm a full-time postpartum doula. I work for myself, Joy the Village Doula LLC. I go into families' homes and take good care of them and educate them after they've had a baby. I provide meals and holistic support for the whole family. I'm also a wife and a mother of a 15-year-old son, and I have a 10-year-old daughter. I've been a wife for almost 17 years now. Hey, y'all.
And who else we got down there?
What's going on Facebook? It's the freshest smelling dude on your timeline.
Facts, man. Okay, listen, you guys. This episode is important because, like I said before, when Kendrick messed up the live, that I never knew how valuable the information it was to before you have a baby or when you're in the middle of having a baby, just really look up and see what the complications could be. I had a friend of mine lost his mother, his daughter's mother on the table. No, matter of fact, she died like a week or two after. I didn't know it was caused by can we call it maltreatment or what can we call it?
Malpractice.
Malpractice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad, man. And matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, Joy, you can help me out with this. The Black community got the highest mortality rate when it comes to things like this, right? So if you guys thank you guys for joining. We want to show you guys what we're talking about. You guys check this out. This is the topic right here for everybody who want to know. Really valuable information. Equality and awareness. What did that mean to you, Joy?
So birth equity and awareness means to me, it means all people, not just our white counterparts, having the opportunity and the privilege and exercising the right to have a birth where and when and how we wish to have it without worrying about losing our lives or without the potential of losing our minds.
Okay, how about you, Life?
Awareness is you got to be aware of your surroundings, don't care who it is, and you got to be aware. You got to pay attention. You got to, you know what I'm saying, you got to ask questions, you know what I'm saying? Ask questions on top of questions, as well as birth equity, my tongue.
Don't worry about it. I said it wrong too.
Birth
Joy corrected me
equity
real slick too. I was like, okay,
is
she threw me the alley oop on the low.
is that, you know what I'm saying, that we have the same rights and get treated fairly and
Yeah.
have the, you know what I'm saying, the above treatment of coming in as a mother and over one of our best days to have birth and you know what I'm saying, and bring our child into this world and don't get treated no different.
Facts. Well, thank you for sharing your story earlier. Hopefully, you can tell us about it again. I'm sorry, you guys. I started the live on YouTube. There was so many gamers up in there. They're talking about some let me get a match. I'm like, oh, what the hell? When I start reading the messages, I'm like, what the hell is this? But yeah. So Kendrick, I'm glad
What
that
up?
you're here, man, and I want to talk to you about this because a lot of times men, we don't ask that question. We just be in the hospital for support. Like when you want to pull my finger or you want to yell or whatever, you need me to go get you some water, some ice. You know, we usually be in the room for that. But did you know of the complications and the things that we need to look for while we're going through this process of helping our significant other give birth?
No, as a man, no.
Um,
Unless you go into the pre-birthing classes with them or you're going to the Lamaze classes with them, you're not gonna know. Because 9 out of 10, if some of the women, if they don't go get that knowledge, they don't know either.
yeah, shout out to Lewis.
First, I ain't gonna say they don't know, but they're not gonna be in a position to kind of tell you because they going through a lot at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know what? I got good news. Shout out to Lewis. He in the building too. Hey, I got a link for you too, man. If you want to join us, I'll put it in the chat. If they don't take it up out of there, because we definitely need more men to hear this information right here, man. We got a lot of fathers that take care of their kids by themselves, man. And we need this information. I want to play a video. Do you guys want to go to the video right now? I want to show you guys something. It made me cry. I had to walk out on this video.
Wait. What kind of video is this? You already know
It's no, you gonna cry. You might you ain't gonna cry because it ain't the whole thing. But man,
You gonna cry in the car?
let's watch the video and then we're gonna talk about it. It's only like 2 minutes. Let's check it out.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, because this video messed me up. I didn't know. I just thought we were coming in for a good conversation, maybe some food. I didn't know I was gonna be up in there sad like that, man. Check this out, y'all.
My daughter's story is loud, colorful, and artful. She was awake, aware, and active. And yet she still died.
After she gave birth, Shamani was complaining that she had really sharp chest pains.
The ambulance came. I'm telling them the symptoms.
Is she on drugs?
Next set of people come in. Is she on drugs?
They kept asking her mother, is she on any drugs?
I'm like, do y'all talk?
We waited a solid 12 hours.
She's gone.
Black women are 4 times more likely to die than their white counterparts with the same symptoms. Why is that?
This is a growing epidemic in our community.
Hundreds and thousands of men are going through this same situation.
You couldn't tell me that I wouldn't be there.
I've never lived in this house without her.
You just gotta keep pushing forward.
I can't let Amber be another statistic.
I had a plan, I had it mapped out.
If these numbers were flipped around and white women were dying at the rate that black women are dying, it would be a national crisis.
We fight against maternal morbidity event by event in order to create change.
We can turn our pain into power and make something of this.
Shamani Gibson, we hear you, we see you.
I planned on spending a lifetime with Amber. I wanted to give her my life. This way, I'm still going to.
Sometimes
The revolution will be tweeted, Instagram, Facebook.
This fight is not over.
When black mothers die, there's a ripple effect. call this aftershocks.
Now, that right there was reality check for me. And hopefully, if you guys get a chance, you guys go watch that video. We're doing another showing and screening of that video on the 11th. I don't know if everybody's invited, but I'm gonna make sure and see who all can come out. Joy was there when I met Joy there. Joy, was that a public event?
Mhm.
It was.
So the first one was not. The first event was only for hospital staff and other practitioners within the county and things like that.
Okay.
But this next one will be open to the public, and I highly suggest, highly recommend that everybody show up and show out, attend, watch the documentary. You'll learn a lot about the impact of maternal morbidity, particularly in the Black community, and how it really is an epidemic that's spreading across this country and has been going on in this country for a really long time and not being addressed in any way. And really the impact that it has to the entire family unit and the community. Like it just can't be dismissed.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that's sad.
man, it was sad, man.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining the panel. We got another guest on the panel. Go ahead and unmute your mic and let everybody know who you are.
Hello, my name is Kathy Gomez.
How you doing, Ms. Gomez? And we got another gentleman up here. Go ahead and unmute your mic, Louis. Introduce yourself. Let people know who you are, man.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for having me solo. Luis Rosario. I'm part of a Ramsey County Birth Equity Council and just Centering Dads. Just a huge shout out to you and your team and this wonderful podcast bringing awareness about these issues and these issues that we bring up are common. It happened to me 2.5 years ago with my daughter being birthed. And it took a doula that we had, a sister, and myself to be in there pointing and nudging and saying, what is going on? What is this? What's happening? For my significant other at the time, to get the proper care that she needed, and attention regarding these same issues that documentary just pointed out.
Wow, man. Hey, that I don't know, you were there last week when they played that video, bro. It did something to me, man. You know what I mean? I got up out of there. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm a runner. You know how some people they a crier. I'm a runner. I go run and cry. I had to get up out of there. I said, man, listen, I can't believe it. 'Cause when it comes on, right? For everybody who I want you guys to go watch it. I think they said it's on Hulu. And
Yes.
what else is it? What else, Joy?
It's also on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Yeah, man, y'all go check that out, man. I'm telling you, please go check that out. You guys want to talk about postpartum for a little bit? And if I'm not mistaken, when I was there, they said postpartum even affect men. And I was kind of thrown off, like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Can we talk a little bit about postpartum and why is it so underlooked? Like they don't really talk too much about it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, historically in our country, first of all, as a postpartum doula, like this is my jam. This is what I get to talk about all day, every day. This is my passion. Because of my own experience. I had a horrible experience birthing my son 15 years ago and going through postpartum depression. When we talk about postpartum, we're talking about the period after a baby is born. And that period is more than just 6 to 8 weeks, which is recommended by our insurance companies and our employers. It's actually a full year to 3 years.
Yeah.
Your body, like the whole body and mind of a birthing person, is never the same after having a baby. It is forever changed. And so there are studies out there and there are scientific facts that prove that postpartum is forever. It is a state of being that doesn't change, that you go from prenatal pregnancy to birth and delivery to postpartum. And then there's postpartum mental health and perinatal mental health. And yes, you're absolutely right. There isn't enough information surrounding the fact that men can also experience postpartum mental health crisis or postpartum mental health disorder, like postpartum depression, like postpartum psychosis, like postpartum bipolar, all of those things that women are frequently diagnosed with after having a baby due to certain signs and symptoms can also show up in male partners as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Postpartum depression is real. My daughter went through it. And they don't be understanding. They be like, you know, that what postpartum depression means that the mother is detached from the baby. The mother don't feel like they don't have emotions towards the baby. You know what I'm saying? At that present moment, you know what I'm saying? They don't feel they don't feel themselves. Man, it's crazy because I done seen a lot of young ladies have babies and be like, and they just despise, I ain't gonna say despise, but discard the child. Like, don't want to touch it, don't want to pick it up, don't want to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And because they're not right with themselves.
Right.
Right.
And it's dangerous as well. It could be really dangerous.
Absolutely.
And people don't pay attention. Oh, get over it. It's okay. Oh, it's going to be a phase. No, it's not. And when that mother is telling you that something's not right, you got to listen. Something's not right.
Wow.
Exactly.
Oh, so what are the conversations should we be having in the hospital? Like, what are some of the things we should be asking?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
What are some questions we should be asking while we're in there waiting? Because I know as a man, I didn't want to say nothing. I just didn't know what was going on. I thought it was some crazy stuff anyway, looking at this. And I'm like, oh, so what are some of the things we should be asking?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm gonna throw out 2 or 3 points simply because my lane is the postpartum lane. I have a lot of information surrounding birth, but I really want to hand this off to Louis, just because he's already walked through this exact thing where he had to advocate for his partner and advocate for himself and advocate for his child with a doula being in the room with him. And so why not get the subject matter expert to talk about their experience instead of hearing it from someone that's giving information that they're hearing from other sources, right?
Yeah.
Other birth workers and things like that. But we've got someone right here that already did that.
Talk to us, Louis.
Feel free to pass that off to him, and then I will share the 2 to 3 points after that.
Yeah, thank you so much for passing that on to me, Joy. I think that some of the questions is exactly what you mentioned. So, just because I felt like I was in the way. I felt like I had to go stand in the corner, and just get out of the way out of the clinicians and then my significant other at the time and the doula. But I think that we actually need to be in the way and ask the right questions and saying, hey, how can I most support the work that you guys are doing right here? What is the action plan if things go wrong? What are we doing? What medications are we planning on using? For instance, in my case, our case, I should say at the time, after she gave birth, she had a small rip on the PZ, a small rip, and she had to get, she was having some bleeding. And at the time, you're in shock because you just have a baby come out of you as a woman. You kind of have this sense of body dysmorphia where you just kind of like, this is really real. I don't like what's really going on. So, and also the exhaustion of having, being in labor for 2 days or however many days most women, because not every woman births right away. So all of that culmination, I was there and I was present. I was asking proper questions, because they're shoving documents in your face to sign. They're not asking you for your rights or how you want the kind of birth, because a lot of people don't realize you don't have to cut the umbilical cord. You can have a lotus birth. You know what I'm saying? You can have all these things, but they're not educating you on this unless you deal with a doula who is educated on that. And I was, thankfully.
Wow.
So all of these things matter. All of these questions matter. I think that going forward, there needs to be also a prepartum education on the men's side, so they can have the right options to be informed to make the right decisions for their family.
Yeah. You know what? I got to say, as a man, I don't think a lot of men, I'm speaking for just the people I know, I don't think a lot of men really thought it can get serious. Like, it can. Like, I don't think they don't think about it like that. They don't be like, well, I don't need to know about all that. She gonna handle that, and then nah, man. Like, I didn't know, so I kind of felt bad. Like, damn, man, I could have been more helpful. You know what I mean? Because think about it like this, you guys. If you knew that the person that you loved and plan to have a baby with, right? That you knew that, hey man, she ain't gonna make it after that. You know how good you would be to that person for that whole day. You know what I mean? Like that's and appreciate it. So if I knew what I knew now, I'd have been way more helpful. Cause man, it made me feel bad. Like damn, man. Not only do they got to do that, then they got to worry about the doctors just not paying attention to them. So
it's not paying attention. Is that it's like I can't speak. I'm gonna speak in my own experience. I had 5 cesareans because I couldn't have a child natural because they said my pelvis bone was too small, and they said only dilated 1.5 centimeters. So right then and there, I said, okay, well, I already got to do my research and I got to do everything I need to do. I got in the medical books. I know my medical terminology. They can't spin around the block and try to talk to me crazy. I know what y'all talking about. I know y'all shorthand, y'all scribbles. I know everything y'all talk about, but none of that matters if you like me when I have a cesarean sister. None of that matters when you land on that table.
Now
somebody got to be there to advocate for you.
That's right.
If they don't, you don't know what happens because now we getting put to sleep. And when I learned about all this, like I was telling y'all earlier, I asked not to get put to sleep. I asked them to let me watch the cesarean just to make sure that nothing went wrong.
Right.
So I watched my own childbirth.
For sure. Solo, I just wanted to address something that you just said as well. As a birth worker, I think it's really important for you to be reminded, and for other fathers to be reminded as well. You don't know what you don't know, and offer yourself just as much grace and space as you're offering your partner when they're going through those contractions and they're squeezing your hand, or they're maybe they're being a little bit loud, or maybe they're getting irritated with you. You deserve just as much grace as you're walking through the things that you don't know that you're becoming aware of in that moment. The same way that you would offer your baby grace when they're learning how to walk, when they're learning how to use the bathroom. You deserve that same amount of grace and space because you're being birthed into a new being as well as becoming a father. So just remember that as well. And then you're right. There needs to be more education surrounding knowing what our options are and being able to make those decisions collectively, but letting the end result really be what the birth person feels comfortable within using their own bodies, but also making that decision based off of, again, what are the values of both parents? What does the support look like from both parents, and knowing how to advocate, asking questions like, what are our options? Or is this medically necessary? Or where can I find more information about what you're requiring us to do, like an induction, right? Or if this should end up in a C-section, under what circumstances is it medically required that we move forward in this way? Let us know what our other options are. If they're coming in and they're just putting hands on your partner, they're just touching them all the time, you can say, they have asked for you to ask or to give consent before you start touching on them or doing cervical checks. They should be asking every time before cervical checks are being done, before any other invasive process where they're putting hands on or in a partner. And that's another really wonderful way to advocate. Also making sure that you have another person that's able to come alongside you and help you, like a birth doula, simply because it's hard to remember all those things in the moment, right? You're thinking about yourself, you're thinking about the baby, you're watching everything that's going on. Sometimes people are talking away from you in the hallway while you need to be present with your partner, who's got eyes and ears everywhere, that can move around a little bit more, has a little bit more flexibility. Well, your birth doula. So making sure that you find the right person that's gonna jive with y'all, that feels like a partner, that feels like a sister or a friend, is really, really important to find, so that when it comes down to the actual birth experience, you can be around someone that you feel comfortable saying, look, I'm just going to give you exactly what's going on in my mind. 100% without pulling no punches. And you know that they're going to do the same and you're going to feel comfortable in the way that they communicate. That's important.
Yeah.
Yes, I ain't gonna lie to you, Joy. I'm gonna piggyback off that because I feel like I needed another like a male presence there because I was there by myself,
Mm.
like another male doula there to bogard these structures that be, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
just there focused with my partner at the time, and I wish I had another male presence kind of giving me that shelter that I needed because there was a lot of break in privacy also where random nurses would just come and pop in and out of the room and trying to act like they're looking for a doctor, but they're trying to see what's going on in the action, being very rude and disrespectful. And I was having none of it. And they don't like that when you push back on them. Because I know I come from the nursing background, so I know how it is. The gossip is real on the nursing station.
Yeah.
Do you guys see the comments on the
So-
screen too?
Yes.
All right.
Well, Lewis, I just want to affirm exactly what you're saying that, yeah, it can be so messy, but you're absolutely right. In a situation where you're having to navigate a lot and advocate and also have to be close to your partner and needing to have that flexibility. Where in our community do we see iron sharpening iron when it comes to men in the birthing spaces? Like, Lewis, I don't know if you know about Doula Dads. Are you familiar with that organization?
Yes,
Doula
I actually
Dad.
got encouraged. I got encouraged by it because of that the terrible birthing experience. To look into the fact of getting certified as a doula.
Yes. Yes. So it's those types of experiences and those types of organizations and those community collectives of men that are willing, ready and willing and able to stand up and have some iron sharpen iron in the birthing spaces with other men. So while there is a doula that's available for birthing positions and advocacy and information and even postpartum support and all of that other things, like you said, if we're missing the piece where other dads are able to have other men come alongside them and encourage them, then is the whole family then being encouraged? If we're missing that piece, is everybody
Yeah.
being set up for success, or are we just preparing for the baby's born and now y'all go on and get along? And no,
Mhm.
we're missing
And that's
some
a
parts.
fact. Let me introduce you guys to somebody special, right? She just joined the panel. I want to give a shout out to Portia. Her story is amazing. I brought her up here for two reasons. One, because she's part of the Cold Talk, and two, she has a movement with this. Joy, you remember I told you about my friend? I was like, I got a friend that went through this, and I couldn't figure out what it was, and I showed you. It was like, you remember I showed you? And then
Yes.
she had a book and everything. But
Yes.
this is her right here, and I want to pull up her book. But Portia,
Hey.
unmute your mic.
It's unmuted.
I got one more person in the building too, y'all. Shout out to Carrie. Yeah, caught you eating. I caught you. Hold on, y'all caught her.
Hey,
Yeah,
Carrie.
we caught you smashing.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
Hey, but
Look.
before I do that, y'all, I want to give a special shout out to a couple people in the comments. Drip Queen, thank you for joining. She said, "Hey, y'all, and I do want to invite you up. She does music. I want to invite her up. We did open a panel for music artists, so I'm gonna be bringing her up. We're gonna be reading up your comments too. We got another guest in the building, y'all. TC. TC said, "Hey, Joy.
Hey, TC.
Yeah. What the hell? I don't know if I should have posted that comment. What was that? But yeah. Portia, go ahead, introduce yourself, mama.
Hey y'all, I'm Portia, aka Posh. Everybody call me Posh, but yeah, he been trying to get me in touch with you, Joy, because I had something called amniotic fluid embolism.
Yes.
So basically the amniotic fluid mixed with my bloodstream when I had my son. And I had a C-section, but if I wouldn't have had a C-section, they wouldn't have caught it and I would have died. Because it was like it mixed with my blood and it clotted everything, and my blood pressure, everything dropped immediately. So I died on the table.
Well, for me, which a lot of mothers don't know, Joy, my daughter was born with Erb's palsy. Brachial plexus is what the medical name is. She was healthy. in my belly, all the way up until it was time for me to have her. They should have done a C-section because she weighed 11 pounds 4 ounces.
Wow.
Instead, the doctor twisted and decided to pull her out the way they wanted to pull her out, and they caused my daughter her whole right arm to be paralyzed.
Were you able to sue them for that? Because Joy, we was talking about now they're actually trying to
Absolutely not.
Was it a documented shoulder dystocia?
Yes.
Okay.
It was documented. I got a lawyer. It was, it was like 5 years. And so they said it was out of, what did they say? The time.
Ooh.
So it's ridiculous, but she's 16 now.
Can y'all leave? Because y'all keep like blocking out. Like it keep like kicking y'all off my screen and putting y'all back in.
Yeah. We've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
Here the whole time.
Yeah. So I understand about that. And then when I got pregnant with TJ back in 1996, I don't know if everybody remember the birth control called Norplant.
Mm-hmm.
I had my first baby at 18. By the time I was 23, I was on my third baby and set of twins. And I had been asking the doctors after I had my first 2 kids, because I had Kenya at 18, Greg at 19 by my first husband. And I asked them several times, could I get my tubes tied? I said, what else can I have, another girl or boy? Oh, well, you're too young. My mother asked, well, if she wants to get her tubes tied, why not? Well, you're too young and you're underage and you're only 19. You might want to have another baby later. 3 years later, I was on a birth control called Norplant. It was supposed to be for 5 years. And while it was in my arm, I got pregnant with twin boys.
Wow.
And for 6 months, I didn't even know I was pregnant.
Why?
With the twins. Because the Norplant, it's what it did was it stops your period.
Yeah.
It's like the Implanon is what it's called now. But back then it was called the Norplant, and it was for 5 years. And 3 years in the game, I got pregnant with the twins.
Did that cause any problems, health issues?
Oh yeah. So the twins end up being born. It was called twin neuropathy, where one of the twins take more nutrition from the other one. And because of the Norplant being in so long, one of my twins, he was born with spinal bifida. He was blind. He had his foot was connected to his calf. His legs didn't grow right. And basically they were 7 pounds and 4 pounds. And TJ basically physically took all the nutrition. But unfortunately, my son has schizophrenia and other mental issues because of the whole situation. But I end up losing his brother at 4 days old.
Yo,
so
this is crazy. Yo, and this is awareness right here for everybody, man. Thank you guys for joining. We got a lot of viewers right now, and I want to say thank you guys so much for joining and getting this information. Y'all, please share this live, man. Please, y'all don't have to drop no money on another. Just share the live for us, please.
That's why I always stress like people be having kids back to back, and there's nothing wrong with that. But
and it's not healthy.
Having kids can take your life, and you keep on having them, and you just having them just because. That's dangerous to me, because they didn't have to tell me more than once. When I woke up on that table, and I was it was 3 days later, and I was on life support. They didn't have to tell me, okay, Portia, this can happen to you again. Like, I lost my memory. I couldn't function like a regular human being. Like, thank God I was able to come out of that 100%. But people that went through that, they ain't okay right now. It's a lot of people that didn't make it. It's a lot of people that can't do nothing. They vegetables right now. And
now, Portia, I got this on the screen. Can you let people know about your book, the audio book, and where they can find it at, and how this helps support you in your movement, what you got going on to bring awareness to this?
Yeah, so I joined the AFE Foundation because it's actually a foundation for women who survive AFE to be able to talk about it. Because if you don't know that there's other people out there like you, then you don't know. So when they reached out to me, I was able to put the book out on Amazon. All you got to do is go to Amazon Kindle and type my name in. The book is called Brain Fog, and it's basically my experience, because a lot of people be scared to tell their experience and what they went through and how they overcome it, because a lot of people still overcoming it. It's been 11 years and I still don't have my full memory back. I'm still not supposed to be able to do a lot of things, but I'm doing it because by the grace of God, I'm stronger than I look, you know? So I push the book because it's a way for other amniotic fluid embolism survivors to feel comfortable telling their story, because a lot of them are sitting at home scared because they don't know if they're gonna wake up tomorrow. They told me it's a possibility you might not wake up tomorrow. It's been 11 years. It's people that's going through domestic violence with their partners because their partners don't understand that they went through something traumatic when they had their child and they're not okay. So some people going through it with their family, they don't know how to express themselves or tell their story about how having a baby almost made them lose their lives. So that's the reason.
Please, you guys, go to Amazon Prime right now. You know what's so crazy? Portia sent me this a while ago. And I know Portia will kind of get frustrated, right? Because she's like, you guys share this out, because how important it was to her. And I was sharing it so much, and I was telling Portia, don't worry. It's going to be a point in time where we're going to send this out and people are going to flood to get it. Portia, this is the time that we can share this, be on the podcast, still switch to the screen, and still share all this information at once. This is the time.
That's dope. I appreciate it, Joseph.
What we want to do is we want to make sure that everybody who's watching this, please, man, be aware of this, man.
Yeah, because it can happen to anybody. Like it literally can happen at any time during, like after you have a baby or during.
What are the symptoms? What are the symptoms? What are something that look? What are the symptoms? What are something people should be really aware of? And then how can we prevent it, or can it be prevented?
So it can be prevented because they don't even know. It's not symptoms. It's nothing that can tell you that this is going to happen to you. You don't know. You just don't know. You can get on the table and not wake up again. It's like the one thing that they say, you know, when you have a child, you can die. When people say that, like you can die giving birth to a child, 10 times out of 10, this is one of the things that can kill you when you have a child, amniotic fluid embolism. And it's not always caught.
Make sure you guys please go pick up this book, man. Please,
they are doing
research. Like I said, when I had my children, they never gave me an option of having a doula. They never, because you're talking about in 1990.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Early 2000. They didn't give me that option to have a water birth or a doula present.
I wish I had an option too, because when I was 25, I got my tubes tied because I was scared. The only option they gave me was, if you have another baby, this could happen to you again, and you have to be prepared for your significant other to pick between you and your baby. And I was like, I looked at that nigga, I said, hell no, guess I won't be having no.
Hit your audience with something that's even more crazy.
That's crazy.
After my third baby and the twins, I got my tubes clipped and burnt.
You better not say you had another baby.
I had 5 more.
Hold on. Full screen her, please. Say what you just said again.
5 more after that.
After your tubes were clipped and burnt?
And burnt. I can pull up my medical records. My tubes were clipped and burnt.
Well, I'm telling you, if I get pregnant again, I'm calling Joy because I don't know what the hell's going on. Okay?
I'm going to tell you this. I never understood it. I never understood how it happened, but what it's called is tubular viscera. Joy may know what I'm talking about. It's where your tubes heal themselves and grow scar tissues, which allows the eggs to get fertilized.
Yes.
And sometimes they die in your tubes, and sometimes they become a baby.
Wow.
And a lot of women
unlocked.
Listen, a lot of women go and get their tubes tied, thinking, "Oh, I'm never going to have another baby."
Right.
I'm here to tell you, at 50 years old, I had my last baby at 39.
So you had a full tubal ligation?
I had a full. Listen to what I'm telling you.
Wow.
I had my tubes clipped and burnt and revised 3 times.
Yeah.
And I still had more children.
That's
Oh,
why
no,
I
this
said,
is-
that's why I
was
said you don't call me, you call Ghostbusters.
I'm definitely calling Ghostbusters,
Three
baby.
times, three
The
times,
reason
like
I-
3 times having a major surgery and
Mhm.
having that having regeneration of those cells, regeneration of that organ twice in 2 different places. Them babies is supposed to be here.
Look, God,
You know what I found out? No, this is the thing. What I found out was my auntie went through that. My father had a vasectomy after he had his 14th child, and he ended up having 10 more after his vasectomy.
That's some God.
So
plan.
it is
That's
a
God's plan.
hereditary thing throughout my family that
It's amazing.
our body regenerates and heals itself in that area. Now,
But how would you have known that if you hadn't gone through that?
You know what I mean?
To ask people in the family. You know?
That's crazy.
yeah.
And
But,
let me check this comment out real
I hear a
quick,
lot of
guys.
women say, "Oh, I got my tubes clipped and burned. I can't have another baby." Oh
Yeah.
no, yeah, you can.
No, I think you
And
that's
then
a-
when they
that's a-
asked
you
me,
a
did I
special
want to?
that.
Everybody was like, "Well, did you sue?" You need to look at them papers because that paper says 99.966666666%. It does not say 100%. So when the first time it happened and I got a lawyer and I went to a judge, he said, "Ma'am, unfortunately, it does not say 100% that you won't get pregnant."
But then they're also going to put it back on us
Yep.
as well and say, well, did you have 2 forms of contraceptive?
That's what they asked
Because
me.
you don't have 2 forms of contraceptive, it can't be effective.
Effective.
Yeah.
And so I have used almost every birth control on the market. Birth control pills, I still got pregnant. I had the Norplant, I still got pregnant. I used the Depo-Provera, I still got pregnant. I had the IUD, I got pregnant. And listen, mind you, by the 3rd baby, I got the IUD and my tubes clipped and burnt and still got pregnant.
I was about to say something crazy.
If I pull out my medical records, y'all would look at it and be like,
y'all see how my mind worked? I knew not to say what I was going to say, but maybe you say I was going to say, but you know what I was about to say. That
But
thing
listen, I tell people all the time, I was just really unsuccessful at sex. I should have just stopped having it because I just kept having babies.
Maybe
but
too successful.
It was a blessing. But at the same time, I didn't want all those children. And sometimes we don't understand, I be telling my daughters, sex leads to a lot of things that if you're not mentally ready for it, don't do it.
Yeah, facts.
Mhm.
Let me catch this comment, you guys, from her. I had to read this, but she said, "I need to get back in tune. You guys always have good topics." I like to hear that one. That was dope. And
That's good. I got
so
go ahead.
you were about to say something early, Life, and you got cut
I've
off.
been
Now,
trying
what
to
was-
say something for the
Hey,
last 15
I wanted to
minutes.
say something about what you said too, Life, and Joy, you can answer this too, right? We were talking about people getting their tubes tied. I mean, people having not tubes tied, but what you had, Life, you had you didn't have the baby naturally.
Oh,
You had the-
cesarean, yeah. I didn't have no
C-section.
Yeah,
cesarean, C-section, same thing. I
Yeah,
didn't have
well,
no labor pains.
I
I
did-
didn't have no. I didn't feel nothing. I just.
Well, look, check this out, Life.
Cesarean.
I did not know that the hospitals are doing that on purpose, and it was for a reason or something, right, Joy? Tell
That's
them
right.
the reason why they doing that with the C-section, would you please?
That's right. So there's OBGYN, which is obstetrician, and then there's gynecologist, right? So especially in our community, we have a higher rate of C-sections. Sometimes they'll say, oh, it's because you only want this particular practitioner and they're going on vacation. So let's go ahead and get the C-section, right? So out of convenience for that practitioner.
Oh, no.
Sometimes it'll be because, oh, things aren't progressing and we really need to move things along. So again, out of convenience, let's go ahead and do a C-section. Or, oh, this is, you're making a whole lot of noise and have a whole lot of needs right now, and you're not getting enough support, and we're not seeing anything happening the way that it should be happening right now in our minds, on our schedules. So again, let's just go ahead and do the C-section.
Wow.
I want to keep in mind, and I want to validate Portia's experience, Because what Posh had said was, if she had not had a C-section, she would not be here today. So that just goes ahead, and that just points to the fact that sometimes a C-section is medically necessary. Absolutely.
Mine was
For the
medically
vitality of the birth person, the mom, or for the vitality of the baby.
Of the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so in situations like that, like, we don't want to say like people shouldn't be having C-sections, because no, they definitely should. That's definitely still required.
I had two
in some
C-sections.
situations, but there are some times where C-sections are not a part of the plan, and are not medically necessary, but they're still happening, and that's a problem.
Well, mine was medically necessary because I only dilated 1.5 centimeters, even though my water bag would break, and I would dare do the potassium and everything to try to induce my labor. I only went 1.5 centimeters.
Yeah.
So I was going to have
The
a dry
cervix
birth.
wouldn't open all the way up, and that's I found that out when I had my daughter. My daughter just turned 18, but I think I was like 17, 18 when I had her, so I didn't know anything about giving birth or C-sections or anything. I was thinking I'm gonna go in here and they gonna get this baby out of me and I'm gonna be done. But I was literally in labor with my daughter for 3 days. My cervix would not open up, and they had to give me a C-section because at that point I hadn't ate, the baby hadn't ate, we were stressed out. I was stressed out. The baby in there eating whatever she can. At this point, she done ate some meconium, and you know she can't eat no meconium. She came out, she got breathing problems and shit, and I've been on the table for 3 days. Nah, man, I knew I had to get a C-section the second time. It wasn't an option for me because 3 days was a lot. So when I got that second C-section, I asked for it. I asked for it because I didn't want to be in labor for 3 days again, knowing that the cervix wasn't going to open all the way up. It didn't make sense. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy that I did because, like I said, they said, if you would have pushed, we wouldn't have caught the amniotic fluid when it was exposed to your blood.
It would have been flooding the bloodstream. Yes.
Yeah.
Understand. And I mean, we can't look back like and see into the future. Would things have been different? We don't know, right? We don't know if things would have been different if you would have had a doula that told you to start eating dates to help your cervix open.
Right.
You don't know what would happen if you had some support of an elder or again another community birth worker that said, what about sitting on the birthing ball and rolling your hips? What about shaking the apple tree? What about those types of movements to help with cervical dilation and preparing the body? What about going for walks with your doula and having open conversation about the things that we hold tight that makes the birthing organs not be able to perform adequately, right? Again, everybody's situation is different.
Right.
Yeah. You can't speak and say, hey, maybe if these things would have happened, this would have went better. But I'm just like, just for everybody out there, there are other options. There are options for like education and being able to do, excuse me, I have a cold, being able to do things differently to maybe have potentially a different outcome and or have the same outcome, but have an advocate there to make sure that you're able to thrive. Your baby's able to thrive. You're able to be comfortable. You're able to have somebody that's able to speak up for you while you're going through everything that you're going through, instead of carrying the weight of the trauma on your own, of birth trauma.
Because I wish I had a doula. I promise you, I wish I had a doula by my fourth baby, because at that point I suffered from diabetes, gestational diabetes. And no matter how much I dieted, no matter how much I didn't eat this, I did all the nutritional. All my babies by my fourth baby came out 10 pounds and bigger. Mm-hmm. So if I had a doula there when they were born, like I had 2 C-sections because my one son was 10.1, my other daughter was 10.4. And like I said, Azira was 11 pounds, 4 ounces. And they knew she was big. They knew it. And she was 5 weeks early and she came out 11 pounds. They knew that she was large. And if I had a doula there to say, hey, I think we should do a C-section, her arm might have been saved. And by the time I had her sister, she was 2 months early and this baby weighed 9 pounds 4 ounces 2 months early with her lungs underdeveloped. Not having someone there to say, you know, they don't talk about gestational diabetes and how it affects our babies.
That's
You know what I'm saying? That the sugar goes to them. Both my babies were in NICU when they were born.
Yep.
And they were early. Listen to what I'm saying. One was 8 weeks early and she still weighed 9 pounds 4 ounces. That's a big baby to be born early.
Right. That's
And the doctor said she just ran out of space. But they don't talk about it. They don't talk about, you know, gestational diabetes and the importance of eating certain things. You know, I followed the diet to a T, but I still had big babies. I mean, even without diabetes, my first babies was 8 pounds. So I was just a person that had big children, but they got bigger. And it wasn't healthy for me. You know what I'm saying? And I end up at 29 years old having diabetes for the rest of my life. And that's something that they don't talk about with us. They don't tell you that you can die having this baby. They don't tell. My heart stopped twice having a cure while they was doing C-section.
That's crazy.
You know, because the day I found out I was pregnant with her, I had a heart attack.
Wait, you can go next, Life.
Don't worry about it.
Well, hold on. You had a heart attack while giving birth? Man, this is crazy. And this is the information.
I was 39 years old.
Were you diagnosed with preeclampsia before? Did you have
not one
preeclampsia?
Wow.
I did not. And I did not have high blood pressure problems. My blood pressure was actually too low. I didn't have preeclampsia. I didn't have the swelling. I didn't have any of that. What happened was I was a diabetic when I got pregnant with her. Listen, I didn't even know I was pregnant with her. Remember, I had my tubes done, revised 3 times, and I was 39. I was at work, and I didn't even know I was pregnant. And I had a heart attack at work. And that was because my blood sugar was 779. And I was pregnant.
Yeah, wow.
You know, so, and then when I went to go have her, she laid on the reason that's why I ended up in Minnesota, because I had to see a specialist. She ended up laying on a vein in my body, and she caused me to have a stroke on my left side.
For sure.
And
so
it
for
stayed
everybody
there the whole
that's
time I was
listening out
pregnant.
there,
But then
I just want to give some context, Carrie, real quick, but I what you have to say is important, and I am ready to listen as soon as I share this information. So for everybody that's listening out there, with gestational diabetes, 350 score is considered high. So 700 score is considered dangerous, extremely dangerous. So now that I've given that context, Carrie, please continue.
so that's why they moved me up to Minnesota, because they didn't have a specialist in St. Louis that knew how to deal with it. A person that it wasn't a stroke because of my bleed in my brain. It was a stroke because of the way she was laying, because she was heavy. So when I got 7 months pregnant, my whole left side went paralyzed, and the doctor basically told me, you either gonna get it back or you're not.
Wow.
And that's how they left it. They didn't say anymore. They just left it like that. So I was in a wheelchair up here in Minnesota. I came to see a specialist, and he was the one that explained to me that she was just laying on a nerve, and he was going to try to do some, you know, Joy, how they try to move the baby.
Position.
None of that worked. She stayed there. She was just too big. And I've had birth horrors. I'm talking about horrors. And I'm probably not the only one out here, but to be pregnant 7 times and each pregnancy being horrible. And then to say I wanted to not have all these children and still have them. They just don't give you the information that having, like Joy said, having 2 birth controls.
Well, they do now.
You know,
and, they do now. And I'm glad you just said that, because I want to speak up for what's going on right now in Ramsey County. They are actually fighting. Portia, you can come back up, Mom. Yeah, you can come back up, please. What's going on in Ramsey County right now? They are fighting for families now, and that's why I want to encourage everybody. If you watch the podcast, hold on, man. Let me get a full screen right here, man. Y'all don't mind if I add a little background music, because I want y'all to feel me when I say this, y'all. Listen, in Ramsey County right now, they are fighting for the families to make sure that they're protected and the information is out there for them. We need the people to show up, though. Having this podcast is one thing, but having you show up after the podcast is everything. So y'all can come here and listen and tell your stories. That's cool. But y'all got to come to these events. Let the people know that you're going to be involved and you guys want something to change. If not, we're going to still lose our mothers. We're going to lose our wives, our girlfriends on the table. Or a week or two, a week or two after birth. So it's like, yo, we got to pay attention, y'all. Thank you guys for joining the Minnesota Profile Podcast on Instagram and on Facebook. But we need you guys to show up on the 11th, downtown St. Paul, man. I don't remember the address, but I will be posted on my Facebook group, y'all. Please, we need to see more people. Shout out to Riri in the building.
Hey, y'all.
Riri, do you have any thing to talk about postpartum or anything like that? Or is there any information you wish you knew that you know now when you was giving birth?
I didn't have postpartum, but I did have a real bad birth, my last one. I had to get an emergency C-section. It was to the point where I was real sick. I had preeclampsia, I had high blood pressure, I had pneumonia, and it had got like really bad where I couldn't breathe on my own. So it was at a point where it was either you or your baby. So that's why I ended up getting a C-section. I don't know what somebody could have told me or did about that because it just came out of nowhere. So I don't know.
Well, Riri, we were just in here talking because I was down there with Joy, and a lot of times they're doing C-sections. They don't need to, and that's causing a lot of problems with women. And that's why, Joy, thank you so much, because when I told Joy I got a podcast, she said I want to come on.
Well, my baby was supposed to have been born September 7th, and he came early. So he came at 35 weeks. So he was premature. So I don't know if they could have prevented doing a C-section because of how sick I was and me not being able to breathe on my own.
That's the problem, though, Riri. That's what I'm saying. Half of that, you not being able to breathe and things are going on, was a mistake. Could have been a mistake by the doctors now for not giving you that information. Am I right, Joy?
Well, it could have, because that was my second time going in. I had went in one time because I had breathing problems and my chest was hurting.
That's how that girl. Yo,
they sent me back home, telling me they couldn't figure out what it was.
Wow.
I came back home the next day. I was like, nah, like this is not right. And I went back in. When I went back in that second time, they kept me for 2 months.
Riri, listen, the girl died for that. The same thing.
Yes, so Solo, you're right, because what you're talking about is Shimoni. Shimoni did pass away after birth, 2 weeks after birth, from the same types of complications that Riri's talking about.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Let me play the video. We got over 500 and something live viewers on Facebook, and we almost got 819 live viewers on Instagram. You guys, y'all gotta watch this. I gotta play this video one more time before we end this show. Yeah. Yo, please, you guys, I want you guys to go out and watch this video. And if you don't want to watch it right now, come watch it with us on the 11th. It will be downtown.
My daughter's story is loud, colorful, and artful. She was awake, aware, and active. And yet she still died.
After she gave birth, Shimani was complaining that she had really sharp chest pains.
The ambulance came. I'm telling them the symptoms.
Is she on drugs?
Next set of people come in. Is she on drugs?
They kept asking her mother, is she on any drugs?
Like, do y'all talk?
We waited a solid 12 hours.
She's gone.
Black women are 4 times more likely to die than their white counterparts with the same symptoms. Why is that?
This is a growing epidemic in our community.
Hundreds and thousands of men are going through the same situation.
Oh, you couldn't tell me that I wouldn't be there.
I've never lived in this house without her.
You just got to keep pushing forward.
I can't let Amber be another statistic.
I had a plan, I had it mapped out.
If these numbers were flipped around and white women were dying at the rate that black women are dying, it would be a national crisis.
We fight against maternal morbidity event by event in order to create change.
We can turn our pain into power and make something of this.
Shamani Gibson, we hear you, we see you.
I planned on spending a lifetime with Amber. I wanted to give her my life. This way I'm still going to.
Sometimes
The revolution will be tweeted, Instagram, Facebook.
This fight is not over.
When black mothers die, there's a ripple effect. We call it aftershocks.
Listen, you guys, I want you guys to please come watch the whole film. Riri, thank the Most High that you still here with us, Mom. The first thing that lady was having complications with was breathing. They sent her back. She stayed at home going through it. She didn't go back. She should have went back to the doctor, man. She didn't do it, and she died, man. And it's so messed up. When you guys watch it, y'all gonna see why I chose to do a show on Thursday. Life came in here today, and Life, my girl, she said, "Solo, I just woke up and I'm ready to do a show." But why are we doing one on a Thursday? Because of this information right here need to go out there, man, for real.
So let me ask Joy about this. Joy, each pregnancy I was diagnosed with clinical hormonal depression during pregnancy. It was called postpartum depression during pregnancy. I didn't have it. I didn't have it after the baby. I had it during my pregnancy. Yes. And they don't talk about that in our community.
Yes.
It's a rarity, but a lot of women say, well, I didn't have postpartum after the baby. 9 times out of 10, you had it during the pregnancy. And that's what I was diagnosed with. It's called clinical hormonal depression, where you get suicidal and homicidal during pregnancy.
Wow.
They don't talk about it.
Yes. So I would love to shed some light on that diagnosis that you're speaking of, which is perinatal mental health crises or perinatal depression, perinatal bipolar, things like that. Though when we experience trauma, and in our community, trauma is generational. Let's just name that, okay? But when we have generational trauma, but then on top of that, when we have very specific trauma to having to do with medical, sexual, domestic violence, previous mental health diagnoses that are stemmed from trauma like PTSD, we are at extremely high risk for experiencing postpartum mental health crises or receiving a postpartum mental health diagnosis through symptoms that we exhibit. If we exhibit no symptoms, we keep them inside, or no one's there to see it, or we don't talk about it during our visit to the doctor at 6 to 8 weeks, or even if we don't talk about it to the visit when we bring the baby to the pediatrician, because the pediatrician asks us, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What's going on? And they give us the Edinburgh scale, which is an assessment of our mental health. We don't know, because it's questions like, how often are you tired? Sometimes, rarely, never, right? It doesn't come across as any type of mental health assessment, but that's exactly what it is.
Wow.
And so when we're going through that and we experience those types of trauma in previous births, or generational trauma will resurface during our pregnancy through hormonal or emotional or mental health things that are happening within us, we are at high risk for receiving a perinatal mental health diagnosis during pregnancy or postpartum. So again, postpartum is not just the sadness or the depression. Postpartum is the time period in which a baby is born. So when people say, I didn't have postpartum, if you had a baby, you had postpartum, because postpartum means after birth.
Yeah.
If you didn't have postpartum depression, then you didn't have postpartum depression. If I didn't have postpartum perinatal mental health crises, then I didn't have a perinatal mental health crisis diagnosis, right? But baby blues and perinatal mental health crises are different. Baby blues is a 14-day period where we're crying, we're hormonal, we're upset, we can't find joy in anything. We might be disconnected from the bond between our partner and our baby. We might even be temporarily, mildly disconnected from what's going on in reality because we're so stuck in our sad. But after 14 days, that should improve.
Wow.
If it doesn't start to lift after 14 days, then we're moving into something more serious, a diagnosis like perinatal bipolar or postpartum bipolar or a postpartum psychosis, which is very serious, or postpartum depression. All of these signs and symptoms sometimes do come with suicidal ideation. And that in and of itself in our community is killing the majority of mothers, is mental health, suicide by through mental health symptoms that they're experiencing that are coming from their change in hormones, change in bodies, that they're just not receiving any coping skills surrounding. And so as serious as making sure that we are taking good care of our health and advocating for ourselves in the birthplace while having our baby, it is 10 times more serious to make sure that we are taking care of our mental health, being seen, receiving the coping skills, being open to treatment plans, all of that in the postpartum space. From the time that you have the baby to 3 years, 5 years, even afterwards, it's important to make sure that you're taking good care of your mental health.
Hey, Joy, thank you for that. We got to get ready to end this show, man. But before I end the show, I want to read Lisa's comment. She said, I experienced preeclampsia on her third child. She said, I was on the birth table, passed out, and had a C-section. So when you see these comments right here, Joy, and you hear that, you can see that the community is kind of unaware of some of the bogus things that these people are doing, not informing people. And you guys, I'm not gonna lie, half of this is our fault too, because we got to demand that. And but I know how we think as a people. We're like, man, I don't want to make this person mad, and then this person, you know what I mean? But we got to get that information, because what my man, shout out to bro, he left, but he told me, he like, man, I felt like I was in the way the whole time, man. Shout out to Lewis. And I want to say this to everybody watching this show. If I didn't notice, I had my head down a while, because I was looking at messages from all the women and everybody saying that, hey, this is a hard show right here for me. I lost my baby, and I lost my cousin, my mother that lost her, you know what I mean? I lost a sibling. And I just want to say, you guys, listen, this information right here is important. I didn't know about it, and it's okay that you didn't know about it. That's why we're doing it now. This is what the Minnesota Cold Talk podcast is about. And I want you guys to take a look at this right here, right? I want you guys to come out to this event. And it's on the 11th. You see they got the boy right here, DeMarcus, community activist. I'm more than just that too. You know, they could have put a couple other titles under there, but it's all good. I'll take that, just that one. But you guys, we are going to have this conversation again. We'll have some good food up there. Beautiful conversation. Meet new people. I'm trying to bring my podcast out, man. I only got my team ain't all that strong right now. We tough. But we ain't all that strong right now, so we're looking for a couple of new members that are gonna be able to show up and show out with us. But we definitely gonna be in the building on June 11th, and we wanted to show everybody we're here for the community. We want to get this information out to the community. I don't care how hard the information is. We want to get it out here. So you guys, please go pick up Portia's book. This is her movement, and I told her, I said, yo, with the right platform, I'm gonna be able to put it out there for you. You guys, please go check out her book. Please, I know that a lot of people are hard on cash, but guess what, y'all? This book right here don't cost a lot of money, but it got a lot of information on it. It's on Amazon right now for $10. I know a lot of y'all be smoking weed. That's a blunt. You know what I mean? To take a break on the take a break on the blunt and get some information. You know what I mean?
But you know what? Even while you smoking that blunt, that could be information that could say the woman laying next to you.
It can say the woman you love, man. And you guys, please come out to the event on the 11th. But please make sure you guys pop up with us this Saturday over North. Hey, listen, you need to come out here with us. Everybody on the panel, you guys need to show up for this event. This is for the 7th. Shout out to the Bounce King, Galvin, and his wife. They're doing everything, you guys. They're gonna have the bouncy houses. They're gonna have the gaming truck out there. They're gonna have everything out there, you guys. Food.
Hey, Sean, I'm on a podcast. I'll give you a call back.
free gifts. Come out there, and then we will be having a Father's Day event June 15th. You will be out there. You gonna be out there. Oh, hold on. Matter of fact, you will be there. You will be there. You will be there. She ain't got no choice but to be there. Oh, Andrea is in the building, y'all.
Hey, that's
Hey,
my hey. What up, Andy?
Oh, Andrea.
Hey, Joy.
I heard a bing, but I didn't know where it came from. I thought somebody messaged me, but Andrea's in the building. Andrea, we're about to end this show, but before we go, you bless us with your presence. So I want to say, do you got a final word or something you want to say about this conversation that we had?
Yeah, I apologize for being late. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah, you're not late. You just on time. You know what I mean?
Well,
You're on
listen,
time.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I just want to invite everyone out to the Aftershock event coming up this Wednesday. It's going to be an amazing time. We're going to be screening the full screening of Aftershock during that space. There's going to be food there, community health workers. We're also going to have an amazing panel, and I am one of the facilitators, and I'll be on the panel as well. And so we just want to give awareness about birth, the inequities that's going on in our community specifically, and then also highlight some of the resources and help that is available that sometimes people don't even know is available to them. And so
Wow.
I know Joy last week was on the panel and she just blew it up. And so it was just amazing to hear from her in that space. And so if you all know anyone who may have experienced anything like this or just want to be a part of the community and move the, move the needle forward, with legislatures, with community workers, with families, just be in the room because we're actually doing something. We're not just talking about it, we're being about it. And so if that resonates with you, please come out and just support. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
Thank you for saying that. We definitely need you guys out there, and I'm so proud and I'm so happy to be a part with you guys and with Ramsey County Public Health. Yeah, the Minnesota Cold Talk, we made it, baby. We made it. Listen, I've been telling people for 3 years, and everybody left me. The only people that stayed with me is Riri, Portia, and a handful of others. But everybody left me. They said, "Yo, we ain't get no money for this. And why are we doing it?" And that thing, y'all, Ramsey County has actually looked out for us and gave us the opportunity to do this. You know what I mean? So please make sure you guys come out June 15th. That's Father's Day. This is for all the fathers. We want you guys out there. We want to celebrate the fathers. We want to show you guys that you guys are important. Shout out to Carrie. She's in the building, and she's going to be bringing some beautiful cakes and some other things that y'all might not be able to get. And she give it to me first, like the banana pudding. I'm just going to put that out there. I ate the whole pan. Hold on. I got to stop the music because this is serious right here. Hold on, y'all. I'm embarrassed about this, man, but I got to talk about it. I ate the whole pan, man. It took me 3 days.
Not the whole pan.
Man, listen, man. I ate the whole pan. I ain't going to sit here and lie to you, man.
But it is good banana pudding, though.
Yeah, and I'm ashamed. Listen, I feel like remember that movie Fat Bastard on Austin Powers? I was unhappy because I was eating. I was eating because I was unhappy, and I was unhappy because I eat. Man, listen, I couldn't
Man,
put it
you got to
down.
get it together, man.
Listen, I was
Indeed,
so
it's
unhappy.
real.
Man, I was eating because I was unhappy, and I was unhappy because I eat. I ate that thing in 3 days, man. The whole pan. I didn't get my mama none or nothing, but
Not the
you-
sugars.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to put that out there. I ain't had no business doing that. But I'm doing better now, though. I'm doing better now. You know, I detox. I'm feeling good. You know, I'm back. So, you guys, please come join the Minnesota Cold Talk podcast for this event. Ramsey County is actually helping us out with this event. We appreciate them with that. We're going to have bouncy houses. We got a retired balloon artist. This lady can make a fishing pole with a fish on it and a rod with balloons. She is amazing. She will be out there. We got face painters. We got a professional barbecuer. We ain't got to worry about the hood barbecue. None of that. This is going to be a beautiful event. We're going to need cherry passes because we're going to need to know who eating and who not. We're going to have a little more organized. It's going to be a little more organized with this event. And I just want to say thank you guys for supporting us for 2 years. In October, it will be 4 years. We're going to do a celebration. Hopefully, all of you guys will come. but I want to see you guys out here, please. I want to see you guys out here on the 11th, and I want to see you guys out here on the 7th. This event is important to the community. We're celebrating the kids getting out of school. It's a free event, you guys. Everything. Your kids are going to leave with something special. Not no cheap stuff either, you guys. I'm talking about some good stuff right here. I'm gonna be out there. Everybody on the panel be out here. Go support Portia. Go pick up her book. Come support the Minnesota Cold Talk podcast, please, guys. Y'all gotta support us. And on that note, we're gonna get up out of here.
And don't forget to come support me on Juneteenth.
Oh no, hold on. Listen, don't do that.
We're not gonna say nothing about how to connect with the doula, but
Yeah.
it's cool.
Hold on, no.
Right. How do we connect to Joy?
Look, you know,
Because I have grandbabies coming.
See, y'all jumped the gun. Y'all ain't get the chance to let me do the thing.
Jumping the gun now.
So,
okay.
I got y'all. Hold on. First, we're gonna do this right here. We're gonna get this beautiful lady right here at the big screen. Listen,
2 minutes.
We were invited to an event that is hers. So let people know what this event is and how can they get in touch with you if they want to be vending and things like that.
They can go on Facebook right now, and it's called MN Juneteenth Jamboree. And you all are invited. Everybody's invited. Everybody in Minnesota is invited. Even though I know there's about 28 different Juneteenths going on. Mine is on West Broadway between Lindell and Emerson on June 19th from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Yes.
So we're still signing up vendors. We're still looking for people. So everybody's welcome.
Ain't the Minnesota Cold Talk? We're vending, ain't we?
Yes.
Yeah, we're vending out there, man. Come get you a Minnesota Cold Talk t-shirt. You know what I mean? Some lingeries and some buttons. You know, we're doing it big.
Joy, if you're not doing one, you can come do mine.
Okay. The woman of the hour.
I know.
Thank you for coming.
But you're gonna be there. Hopefully, we can plan on you being next year.
Yes.
Because that's
to do that.
What you do is very important in our community.
It is. So let people know how to get in contact with you. Give them something at the end of the show with something special. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. So first and foremost, whether you're a mom or whether you're a dad, whether you're hoping to be a mom or a dad, whether you're a caregiver, whether you're a person in the community that's just gleaning information, you are worthy. You're worthy of rest. You're worthy of support. And if you want to connect with me on a level of receiving postpartum support, my delicious postpartum meals, emotional support, and education, check out my website, joythevillagedoula.com. It's just www.joythevillagedoula.com to learn more about what it is that I do, the packages that I offer. And if you're looking for support that's more affordable, I do have a sliding scale, so hit me up. We'll talk about it.
That's dope. Hey, yeah, that's dope. I did not know about the meals. That's fire. Thank you for that. And no, you do not have to bring a father with you. The women can come out and do their thing without the daddies. I know a lot of women be like, I'm the mother and the dad. No, you ain't. You the mama, but you're strong. So we're going to respect that. But yeah, you don't have to bring a father out there. Y'all come join, man. It's a Father's Day event. Maybe I might change the name of it. It might give off the wrong type of, you know what I mean? Maybe I just have a Father's Day barbecue event or something. I don't know. Maybe I might switch the fire up around a little bit because that's called it a Father's Day event. Make the ladies not want to show up. But no, this is a Father's event, a Father's celebration event or appreciation event. Father's Day appreciation event. We're going to do it like that or something. I'm going to twist it up. But thank you guys for joining the Minnesota Cold Talk podcast. We really appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining. We will be live Sunday with a recap of all the shows. So y'all all are back invited on Sunday at 8:30. If you guys have any idea for any other shows, please let us know. If you guys want to support the Minnesota Cold Talk podcast, give me cash because I'm hurting. I ain't gonna lie, a donation or something. I'm the one.
Miss Light, did he say he need cash?
No, I'm very appreciative, man. I got license. I got Riri in my corner, man. They strong, man.
Two awesome women.
They're gonna hold me down. You know, we're looking for more podcast members. We need 3 more. So guys, you know, like to take applications, and we want to thank you guys for joining the Minnesota Cold Talk podcast, and we'll see you guys soon. y'all like that animation. I had to end the show.